सागरे गपगरे गपधा पगरे ग सारे
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and agents across the board. We are here with week number 2 of the Upsurge Premier League Valorant Spring 2021 season. I am excited to be here. First time for this season and in a long time. My name is Orbital. I'm joined here by Nightstar. How you doing, Nightstar?
The UGL broadcast has now been imported to UPL. I love it.
Hard imported coming in here. So we will be underway with our week 2 match being streamed here. It will be Slaughterhouse Esports versus Delusion Esports. Both these guys going 1-0 in their first week. I believe both by 2-0. So hopefully it's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what these UPL teams do bring here. Of course, this is my our first cast, so don't really know a whole lot about these teams. So I can't wait to just dive right into it.
Yeah, and of course, something that's kind of fun is going to be the first map. We have the 3 maps that are coming out now. Keep in mind, Delusion Esports will be on the attacking side to start every single game. That's how the teams opted to trade it out. And the maps go as listed. We have Icebox first, Bind second, and Split third, which is, in my opinion, a little bit surprising to see Icebox of all maps be picked in the first rotation for maps after bans.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit interesting that it comes out early, but I think teams have started to really learn the map, and they're much more willing to play it just because of how many different kind of plays you can execute on this map. It's really wide open as far as the most freedom when you compare it to a lot of the other maps, which are smaller, a little bit more constrained, or at least not as much variety when it comes to like height and just open space. So I love Icebox at the moment, and I think it's probably one of the most best maps if you are prepared for it.
Yeah, it's very entertaining, and it's also kind of brought its own meta ever since the updated patch at the tail end of March. A lot of people have been also figuring out that Viper is starting to move up a little more, especially on Icebox. I mean, do you think we're going to see a Viper here? Do you think we maybe even see an Astra? I mean, these are agents that have kind of gotten priority specifically on this map.
Yeah, and even the recent update on Astra being able to use her gravity well to pull people off of defuses, or of course plants as well. But the defuse change has been pretty big, so that's something that could show up a little bit more here. I don't know if it will. But for sure, I expect to see at least one Viper, at the very least, just because that agent is just so powerful. Being able to use that wall and just immediately eliminate 50, like 50 health if they decide to pass through the wall is massive.
Yeah, no matter what, even the Viper's Pit is always a fantastic ultimate to be able to use. And like you said, the Poison Cloud, Toxic Screen, and pretty much everything in Viper's kit has been buffed to a point where she is going to be a strategic advantage if you're able to play right. So we are loading in here 2 Icebox kicking off here. I'm very excited to see. Once again, Delusion Esports, you will see, will be on the attacking side of your screen to start things off, in Slaughterhouse Esports will be on your left side on the defense. And already you can see we have the very basic Jet, Sova, even a little bit of Sage coming out here. So little bit of the basic meta being built for both sides.
Yeah, and I mean, right before we got over to Agent Select, we did show the map selection, and just to reiterate what was on the screen, we're going to be going on Icebox, Bind, and then Split. And interestingly enough, it will be Delusion Esports opting into attack on all 3 maps. Of course, there was definitely one of those options taken by Slaughterhouse, but it is interesting that you would decide to start on attack in any of these maps, just because defense is just, it feels a lot easier to execute on the defense.
Yeah, some people have varied ideas on how attack and defense feels, especially on this map. It really depends on how comfortable you are, right, with a map starting out. So we go ahead, take a look. We can already see a Sheriff coming out for 0 here, which I personally am going to like. However, 4 classics and I think a Frenzy rounding it out with a little bit of armor for the side of Delusion Esports. So these guys already kind of feeling like they're prepped, they're ready, but also understanding that this first firefight is going to be very, very telling.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, we aren't going to see any Viper here.
Yeah, no Viper indeed, as we already get the first shot of the game. 0 dropping with that Sheriff. Follow-up kills over here on A, and a quick sporadic spray means that it's going to drop into a 2v4 situation with XD going ahead and snapping up 1 now in a 1v3 situation. Delusion Esports gets dropped with the paint can, and that is going to be a Bruxus going ahead and cleaning up that round.
Very fast execute there coming in from Delusion, and just immediately gets dropped. And it was just a very clean, clean defense coming in from Slaughterhouse. They just hit the shots, and that was all she wrote for that round.
Yeah, just a very, very nice job. And of course, first round generally lends itself to a round advantage. We have seen in the past that yes, some teams can come back from the first round loss, but again, you're working up against the wall. It's going to be a thrifty round, and you can already see they've kind of given it up. You only see one Sheriff coming out, and Evo says, yep, you even dropped a man. That's going to be a rough time for the side of Delusion Esports, as all of them are hurting right now, trying to pressure up this mid.
Yeah, a lot of action coming down mid, and they're gonna have to be careful because the Jet is coming in on the flank, although she gets shut down, and that could open things up towards A.
Yep, and Jaden goes ahead, drops a headshot over on Dev. That's going to move it into a 4v3, and honestly, Delusion Esports feeling okay. They were able to heal up a little bit with this double healing composition, but Mime goes ahead and says no healing for you, Phoenix. We are now in a 3v3 situation with everyone still stuck on mid and a little bit of a fan out over towards B side.
Yeah, and things slowing down. It really just comes down to what can they do with the Sheriffs here, because they haven't been able to pick up any weapons. A site and B site are technically somewhat open here, as the defense has had to spread out. And now it just comes down to,
30
with
seconds
this
left.
little time, whichever site they pick, they're going to have to hard commit here.
Yeah, once you drop down into that 20-second range, you have to be a little bit worried about sprinting into that site. You can already see the rotate over from Slaughterhouse. They say, all right, cool, we can hear the footsteps. We know you're rotating over, and we have that option of Bruxus is going to go ahead and drop that spike carrier. That should be the round. So just looking for some cleanup frags. Bruxus is going to go ahead, grab a second, a third. Soon to follow. Everyone has to reload. No, that's a 3K. There it is. T goes ahead and falls 2-0 for Slaughterhouse Esports to start things off.
A little bit messy at the end, but you know what? You finished the job, and that's all you asked for. But this is, of course, going to be the business round. You're going to have all of the rifles. It looks like a 5 Vandal setup here coming in from the side of Delusion. So this should be a very favored round for them, as they're going to have a big weapon advantage. So I want to see a lot more aggression coming out from the side of Slaughterhouse as they try and push out, maybe steal away one of these weapons and then turn things on its head. As Zero does have the knives popped, which is really nice to start things off.
Yep, third round of Blade Storm coming out, and you know, you gotta enjoy that feeling, but you also have to hit the knife. So I think already 3 throw, no kills, so not gonna be able to recharge that just yet. Full Vandals for the side of Delusion Esports, so this should be a round that they feel very comfortable in, as well as full armor packing with that heat. And they actually opt to play it a bit slower. They understand they have the range advantage, and that's Jaden. Go ahead, snapping up the Blade Storm out of this game. He's gonna grab 1 frag for himself, and now a slight rotate over, a possible with the spike rotating as well. So 2 lurkers and a hard push over through B garage and B green.
Yeah, now they're going to be able to push onto that B site, and I mean, it's pretty open for business. They only have to deal 1 player, and if Abrexis falls down, it's definitely all theirs. Again,
Well,
30 seconds
the
left.
backstab there.
Spike planted.
yeah, and Jaden immediately regrets his decision, but not so much, because he did take 1 down, or 2 down, I believe, so far. There's going to be a little bit of a hard time finding an engage. The spike is already planted, so this is on Slaughterhouse to get back in. Having a little bit of a rough time as Dev goes ahead, watches his friend die. That's going to be XT also taking the next. Bruxus is the only one remaining, so this has to be a 3, but can't clutch it out. That's going to be Delusion Esports snapping up a win of their own to, you know, delay the excessive round wins.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those rounds. If that bonus round does get taken by the side of Slaughterhouse, it really just kind of lives up to their name, where they just absolutely run away with it and slaughter Delusion as far as score and economy goes. But now they are going to have the operator up and available, and we'll see if Zero is able to find any picks. It does look like they are going to be pushing into him, so he's going to be offered a couple of shots. It's just a matter of can he land them. And we're already seeing very fast rotation coming in from the side of Slaughterhouse too.
Yep, and that's the all-important part of being on the defense here. If you can prep properly, if you can set up inside, you are going to be golden. A little bit of a flank on the outsides, and that's going to be T going ahead and lurking to pick up the frag. He nearly drops it into a 4v3 situation. Make that none versus 3. Delusion Esports wipe out Slaughterhouse to tie it up 2-2.
Yeah, and I mean, Delusion, they just absolutely run them over there, and they had the option to pick up the operator, decide not to. It's kind of a common trend when you are on the offense, and the fact that you don't want to pick up an operator just because it does, it can slow you down when it comes to some of these fast takes. And it looks like for the side of Delusion, they want to stick towards that fast take option, and they're about to go fast take straight onto B, and Abrexis has to get a lot of value there, and he does not.
Only finds about 95 damage off on Wraith, and so that's going to be a little bit of a hard push coming in. Unfortunate for him, but I mean, what can you do, right? You're running Sheriffs and light armor. That you knew this was going to be a rough round to try and go through, so you might as well go out with a bang. So the showstopper opens up the party. The spike is going to go down, and Slaughterhouse Esports are making a beeline over to the site.
I mean, it was a great opportunity in that he could have lined it up there. We're definitely clumped up and just wasn't able to land a shot. And now, the rest of the squad they're just gonna try and see what they can get off the back end. Hit a couple of sheriffs, maybe drop a couple of these weapons. That would be helpful. As okay.
Yeah, the Nano Storm was just enough to stall that out, and that is going to be Slaughterhouse Esports faltering at that line. They will go ahead and get destroyed. However, they did take 3 with them, so that is a positive note, forcing Delusion Esports to buy a little bit more. However, 3 ultimates to 2 coming out here, both of the Omens deciding to teleport if they wish. The Sovas with the Hunter Siri. However, the difference being that attacking side lockdown.
Yeah, and it's actually really massive in the fact that they were able to drop 3 in that round. Being able to get a lot of value there means that some of the economy is chipped off. You do see K's and Wraith. They're a little bit lighter on the economy there, which could pay off if they're able to win this round from the side of Slaughterhouse. So that will be okay. Zero just bobs Jaden. Okay.
Oh, that is so good. Zero just going ahead and saying hello. I'm at the bottom of the scoreboard, but still able to take out the top fragger. He's going to secure himself a kill, and that kind of forces Delusion to slow down their tempo just a little bit. You can see Dev still lurking, but at this point, I feel rotating wouldn't be a bad idea. We'll see what they decide to do with this very nice setup. A little revive coming out of K, so gonna drop it into a 5v5, even up the scoreboard just a little bit.
Yeah, now 5v4 advantage should be commitment here. As Jaden goes in to run back, gets a little bit more information, and it looks like they're actually going to feign a fake here, but losing Jaden there is going to slow things down, which is a bit rough here.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice little frag, and turns it into a 4v4, attacking Killjoy down just to make sure the plant goes out, or attempts to, as Wraith is actually going to stop, and that's the Hunter's Shear going ahead, stop the plant. They're down in the last couple seconds, but again, the Hunter's Shear is so good. Delusion Esports, they get the frags, but can they get the spike? Plant, yes, they should here. 3 seconds left on that. And that is just a rough time. Now, we get to go ahead and see if only one member can. Evo gets one. Is this going to be the comeback play? If he's able to get a 4K, that would be disgusting, but no. T goes ahead and just flattens that out.
Nice little finish there. And I mean, for the viewers at home, we are slightly desynced, as you can, as viewers might be a little bit confused about, but we'll try and figure things out.
No. We're just psychics. That's all it is.
Right. So, I mean, you know, if you're a color caster, you should already know what's about to happen, right? So.
Totally. We should be able to predict 30 seconds in the future.
Yeah, it's just part of the job.
You love to see it, but here we go. 4-2. Delusion Esports have won the last 4 rounds. Slaughterhouse Esports having a couple issues, and this looks like the round that they're going to save, or at least minor save, as we do see. I believe that is going to be the Marshal plus a Judge, so working with a little bit low econ, and Dev goes ahead and does it twice. 2 convictions in 1. That's going to be a nice setup for them to be able to try and pull out a round win. Extremely quickly evened up by T. T goes ahead, loses life as Jaden grabs a 2K for himself. Now we're going to see if this 2-on-2 is going to have any problems.
Yeah, it's a 2v2. It's, I mean, honestly, not the worst. You have the Sheriff. If you hit that first headshot, if you hit the first headshot,
not the shoulder,
first
head. Okay, there we go. All right, well, anyway, Jaden, even though not aiming for the head, still picks up a 4K for himself, which is honestly amazing to see in these later rounds. And Delusion Esports really coming out strong here on the attacking side for the first half.
Yeah, I mean, people will meme on kind of these eco frags here sometimes, but in all honesty, in a game like Valorant, these eco frags are actually insanely key because if you get a 4 kills, look, Jaden almost has the run it back already. So all he needs to do, grab the orb, and then he's able to just push forward with impunity once again.
Yeah, 11-7 for this man so far, showing up huge, and Abrexa's trying to match at this point and doing okay, but we do finally see Operator coming out for Zero. Zero goes ahead, puts in work right there. Already dropping XD, might be able to pick up one more if they're careful. A very nice spread here, 4-1 once again. Means that Delusion Esports are a little hesitant on where they want to start attacking.
Yeah, things gonna have to slow down just a little bit, but of course Jaden has that run it back after claiming that orb, and means he gets one.
Zero gets a second. Wraith goes ahead and nabs Zero now, so no operator in play. Wraith able to grab 2 as well. Oh, they're doing so well. Mime goes ahead and says, Zero, get right back up, please. We need you here in this fight. Spike is already down. That's gonna mean Slaughterhouse need to rotate in. Out goes the smoke by Zero, and instead of the operator has to make do with the Blade Storm. And a Storm goes out. Jaden drops Mime. The damage has been done. The revive is there, and Jaden gets 3. Can he make it 4? He's done it once. Yes, he does. Back-to-back 4Ks. Big push and win by Jaden and the rest of Delusion Esports.
And I mean, Delusion, they're off to a roaring start. You look at this economy, Jaden, he is capped on money. He almost has yet another run it back. If he gets both orbs and an entry, that's another run it back if he really wanted to go that way. And given the fact that this is an eco round, I mean, whew, we're looking at like every other round of run it back. That's nuts.
That's just rude is the best way to put it, in my opinion. It's just like, come on, man, like be a little bit nice. And at the same time, remember, if Kay has her ultimate, if she has the resurrection, or if he has the resurrection on this Sage, that provides an extra layer. So potentially you are fighting a 7 versus 6 battle if all ultimates are in play. Kay just says, nah, this is 7 versus 4. I'm gonna go ahead, take it back for myself, 1 away from having that ultimate to provide a little bit more pressure. Mid looks like it's going to be the next firefight here, coming out as Delusion aren't pushing into that A site, even though it's been working for them so well.
Yep, and I mean, on the defense, you are of course on this low econ purchase. I really want to see just a little bit more aggression, just full stack here, and then just a full send altogether. Just some sort of really collaborative play, whereas right now they're very split up. At the very least, they might be able to pinch down onto XD, but XD wins out that duel, and he should win this one as well. So
Last player standing. Spike planted.
collaborative effort is not quite there yet still.
Not quite there, and you can see it really starting to hurt in the side of Slaughterhouse's wallets. Is the best way to put it. Yes, they're getting some of these primary guns, but you're still seeing them kind of hard on this armor, right? You're taking a look. Mime should have enough to go ahead, pick up a full suit of armor. It's still difficult, right? It feels like they're behind. If they lose 1 or 2 more, their attacking side is going to have to be near flawless if they want to try and take this map.
Omenal going straight into A, seeing if there's some information to be gained. Gains a little bit. Knows that there's Sova chilling around, and Jaden once again. Run it back once again.
Everything is coming out. They're like, yeah, we want to push into double digits before the first half. Jaden goes ahead, swaps through. Wraith is going to go down, so Omen on Omen action results in a 4-on-3. K going ahead, dropping down that spike, but it's going to be spotted out, and Dev goes ahead, drops Jaden. Big Fragger is down, so that means they have an opportunity. Slaughterhouse need to get in on that spike. The Sage wall is up. Go ahead, break one. Gotta start breaking some other bodies if they want a clean defuse. That was an interesting teleport.
Okay, found some damage, but unfortunately only damage, and now Hunter's Fury will okay, they didn't need the Hunter's Fury. The Hunter's Fury, great distraction, forced them to move out of the way, and they were able to get the frags off of just them trying to reposition away from that laser. So nice little pick up there, and yet again we're going to see the side of Delusion just really run away with it. And they still have ults to use, they still have the res, they have the lockdown, and for Evo, he doesn't have the Hunter's Fury right away, so if they go in with a fast play with that lockdown, there's no response.
Yeah, and you say it's it's Delusion Esports running the show and kind of taking over. I feel it's the Jaden show is the best way to put it. He is sitting at 19-8. This man has been on an absolute tear. You know, being able to revive every so often has put him in such a strong positioning. Now this time, Delusion Esports are taking this extremely slow. You can see the spike being tossed on the ground, so they're trying to not give anything, wanting to get those opening frags first before they start rotating anywhere.
Yeah, and right now for the side of Slaughterhouse, they've invested so many resources onto A at the start of these rounds because so many of these hits have gone towards A, and now Dev, he actually finished the teleport. Oh my god. Yeah, that's Jaden yet with another first kill in a round, and he's cracked open the site pretty much. There's only one left, and it's just going to be the judge on the Bruxus.
Jaden has averaged 2 frags per round, which is a disgusting number to have. T goes ahead and drops the judge player. It's going to get Bruxus out of this fight. Attacking lockdown is done. No one detained, but that gave him enough time to spread in. Spike is down. A couple shots go straight through that paranoia smoke. You're going to go ahead. You see Wraith going ahead, circling around, ready to catch any lurkers that try and pinch. Adds us down to a 3-on.
They're gonna go save.
3-on-5, yeah. They're gonna try and get out of the Wraith.
Zero's in trouble.
And you can't walk around with that. Oh, Zero running with the knife out, gets shot in the face.
Zero just has nowhere to go there, and I mean, dropping one of those weapons is gonna hurt them a lot. But this save call, honestly, is probably their best option because of the fact that you're headed into the last round. Everyone is at really low on funds. To give yourself the best chance, you just need to carry over these 2 weapons because they started that retake 3v5 so quickly that there was just no chance, unless if they just found a bunch of miracle frags to really finish that one off.
Yeah, and honestly, we have to give props to Delusion Esports. They lose the first 2 rounds, yet they are doing a fantastic job. 9 rounds in a row, which, in my opinion, I mean, Slaughterhouse Esports are doing the right call, right? You save once or twice, be able to stack up enough, and you have to buy out of that, and yet they just haven't been able to find that momentum. Jaden has completely shut them down. Rest of the squad has followed up as well. And now we're seeing this last round. It is all or nothing here with a resurrection on K, and might not need it. Zero goes ahead, gets some revenge for his teammate. That's gonna slow it down. 4-on-4, and K just goes, yeah, let's make it a 5v4. We don't care.
You will not kill my ally.
Yeah. They're able to get a good res spot here, which is really nice, of course. And on the flip side, it's really tense. If Mime wants to go for that res, he is going to expose himself, so he's playing a little bit more careful. Hopefully, with the slower pace actually coming through, Mime is going to have that opportunity to try and make that res play happen, but Jaden, he is just ever so lurking. That Sova Dart, that recon arrow, that might be enough to go for the res now.
Yeah, might be able to, but again, needs a couple charges to get in there.
That's true.
3 and 7, 3 out of 7, so can't really do much. However, this rotate through mid, which they have not done before, is going to catch them by surprise. So Delusion Esports are able to find a few, but the return kills are theirs. Slaughterhouse able to drop some frags, but it's not going to be enough. 13 seconds. XD is planting, and it is going to go down. All eyes on Zero. Is he able to live it up? No, he cannot. XD last in their faces. It is going to be 10-2 as we go into the second half.
Yeah, and right there we see why Slaughterhouse, they're enjoying not Slaughterhouse, but the side of Delusion, they're really enjoying the attacking side, and maybe we get to see a lot more of that when we go into maps 2 and possibly 3. But Jaden, he's been an absolute juggernaut here. But I feel like, again, for Slaughterhouse, they just never brought out the extra aggression, the collaborative aggression. Having 4-man pushes out mid when you just have nothing but pistols, you just gotta try something to throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, I gotta try something. And remember, Slaughterhouse did win the first 2 opening rounds, so that is a possibility, right? So maybe get a little steamroll. Remember, everything's reset. This is your opportunity to kind of get a mental break here, and maybe they're just not comfortable on the defensive side. This is their chance. They have that opportunity. We do see a couple ghosts, I think, coming out on both sides, but Classic and Frenzies rounding out those equipment purchases. Very slow start here from Slaughterhouse Esports as they are actually looking for opening frags here. I'm not sure about this, especially on a pistol round.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be mostly an A investment here, as now the smoke's starting to come in here.
Yep. 1 or 2 more. Jaden knows how to fuse there. Gets 1. Can't get 2, but hits enough to drop the health bars. Wraith goes ahead and finishes off 0. Bruxus is going to say hello, but Slaughterhouse go ahead and make their name known. They turn A into the killing floor, and Delusion Esports have to watch T try and clutch it out 1v3.
Yeah, he's going to try and clutch it out, but I mean, the health bars, you look at these health bars, they're all so very low. 2 right clicks could just finish the job here. He's going to meet Dev, but does get backstab from height, and Abraxas will be able to shut that down. A second pistol going into the hands of Slaughterhouse. They need a lot more than that, though, as they will head into the bonus round. I feel like even if they win this bonus round, because usually you just kind of hold on to your weapons after that bonus or after this round into the next round, because you kind of expect to drop it. I don't know if they have that freedom because of the round differential.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like we had talked about before, right? Your opponent is in double-digit win rounds at half. That means you have at max 3 rounds at this point to play with. You have 3 rounds that you are allowed to lose. Problem is, most of the time, if you lose them back to back, you are down to pretty much nothing. So taking a look here, this is a fast push into B. Very smart play, I think, because again, you have the gun advantage. Spike is down, immediately back out and get ready for the defense. I like what they are doing. This is exactly what you're supposed to do. Slaughterhouse Esports playing by the playbook. Slow, but K goes ahead and drops him. That's a shorty kill, and Mime goes ahead and grabs that Spectre and causes some chaos here. Now comes a couple more bullets going through. Mime throwing down a few more, and a wall goes up. So wall versus wall action is actually going to help Mime out. 3K for that save. This turns into an ace. Slaughterhouse Esports get their 4th round win of this map.
So they're able to convert the second round once again here. But this is really where everything kind of boils down. It doesn't look like they're going to heavy invest into Mime or Bruxus, which could be problem. Okay, now we're going to see a Vandal coming out on Bruxus. I think this is the correct play. And for Mime, I'd like for more investment to come out onto her, but it looks like they've decided that the Sheriff is just going to have to do. I don't really like that play, Orbital. I think they just need rounds right now, and if they drop this one, yes, you're going to be able to buy up the next round, but it's going to look very similar.
Yeah,
that doesn't help.
Yeah, Jaden goes ahead and takes out Dev. He's going to go ahead and quickly wall up and heal himself back to full. I think the option that they were hoping for is Mime goes ahead and, you know, is able to help out in a 1v1 trade and then pick up the enemy gun. It just doesn't work out that way, right? Dev gets sniped off, has to go ahead and pick up his Spectre. So it's going to be a 4-on-5 left. So I'm going ahead and saving that resurrection. B side looks like the option with the Jet running interference.
Yep, things once again slowing down, but I feel like it always just favors the side of Delusion here because they're the ones still finding the plays. They find 2 picks for this round, and this round is just looks like it could just be done and dusted here. They have the weapon advantage, and now for the side of Slaughterhouse, they just have to play time so well. They are going to invest the res, but they immediately drop a member right after that. So it's still looking really bad, but they're going to try for the retake. And you know what? They just defused the bomb right in front of their face.
Might as well. Why not? You can clean up later. A couple exit frags going to be coming out for mine, but you know, you burn the resurrection, so even though they lose a few, Delusion Esports feeling great right now. 24 frags for Jaden right now, has that running back. He's going to be making some big plays on the defensive rush, and this is looking dire. 2 rounds to map win, and Slaughterhouse Esports have got to find a miracle here in left field.
Yeah, and at least thankfully they're going to be able to get full rifles here with heavy armor, so the duels shouldn't be the issue. It's just a matter of utility, and Dev gets to start things off on a very important member, taking down Jaden, as he's just been an absolute terror. And he also had, or is going to have, the run it back next round. I don't know he had available at the start of this round, but an important member to remove.
Yeah, and you always want that Phoenix down as soon as possible, considering how much he has done for the squad. So that puts the attacking side, Slaughterhouse, in a decent position. They have opted to start rotating over towards A. You can see a little bit of a lurk over in B garage to attacking side spawn. They are praying to find someone on the back end, trying to get a rotate off. However, because Spike has not been seen, only 1 member is over here on A site. Rate playing that defensive posture.
Yeah, now they're gonna go ahead, dash on in. Wraith coming under fire, able to get the first, but he needs a little bit more.
Oh, a brush on the back end.
Oh no.
Disgusting snag right there. So Slaughterhouse having a little bit of fun here, a little bit easier time for them than it was in previous rounds. Up 4-2 in terms of members. Now they just have to pick off the rest. This is their opportunity to start swinging back and start making a comeback attempt. Wraith though goes ahead, gets some omen on omen action. Bruxus goes ahead and sneaks up behind, and Wraith might find a paint can to run out, and Bruxus gets a 3K to close out their 5th round.
Who's got the snacks?
Yeah, and I mean, that's just really well done by the side of Slaughterhouse, being able to clutch that out. And I mean, we talked about the importance of that round, because if they drop that, that would be overtime point guaranteed for the side of Delusion, and now they give themselves a bit of a fighting chance. They're gonna have the full rifles against the side of Delusion, who are pretty much on eco, although remember Jaden does have the run it back, and they've also invested into a Vandal onto the man, so he could still do a lot of damage this round.
Extremely so, as T actually gets a couple good snags on damage. A little bit of rain down with the paint cans means it's a full broadside over here on B. Nanoswarm goes down right over the site, and Abruxus has to quickly hide behind one of the containers. They're going to slide over. That's still a lot of time though for the side of Delusion Esports to get the rotating. K goes ahead, finds a shorty on mine. K is going to be happy about that. T falls as Abruxus is going to spot out Jaden. Jaden goes ahead, already used the run it back, so got a little bit of information, immediately runs back out and catches Evo. 4v3 here with a couple ultimates up. So the showstopper and the teleporter up. A possible teleport flank could come out, but no, Dev goes ahead, snipes K through the wall. It's gonna be even with Sova bleeding for a little bit of life.
But look at where Jaden is. He's already gone all the way up mid, so the side of Slaughterhouse, they have no option but to just go B here, because if they try and fall back, they're going to be pinched. But
30 seconds left.
getting that pick means that things are looking a lot better here. XD's the only one left. This should be the round, and a much needed follow-up round, because they're just going to need to churn out as many as they can in a row. prevent this map from going over, as eventually they finish that off.
That was pretty funny. XT was on 5 health. If you're watching, and dodged out on I think 3 separate sprays. So literally playing shoot the fish in the barrel, you can't hit the fish for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, the man was Neo. He was trying to go through the Matrix.
You know, not for the first 95 health, but for that last 5 health, he definitely turned it on.
Yeah. But remember, in the Matrix, he does get hit by the last shot. So, you know, he doesn't dodge everything. As we see at the very end, he gets tagged, and that's why he goes down.
Yes, he does. Now taking a look, Delusion Esports sitting on 4 ultimates: a Res, Hunter's Fury, Teleport, and Lockdown. So lots of utility to swing back in their favor and grab that 12-round win if they can. You can see Slaughterhouse getting a little bit wary of it as well. No hard fast push. They're gonna go ahead, try and find some. Zero goes ahead, uses a little bit of dash, throws out a little bit of shots. Can't find any purchase as everyone is still on full health.
Yeah, and actually look at the setup. They're actually so far forward, kind of on both sides. They threw a lot of pressure onto A at the beginning of the round, and now that they have ownership of B, they've pulled that pressure from A and gone for the rotate. So I really like that play coming in from Slaughterhouse, and this could be that opening, but he's going to be the one to find it. And man advantage now coming in for the side of Delusion as they try and find that all elusive 12th round.
Yeah, well, the problem actually is that was a Wraith teleport used to actually go back to A, so that gave an opening to Slaughterhouse Esports to go ahead and get the play. Hunter's Fury did tag, I believe, Mime a little bit there, goes ahead and heals that one up, but the Psych is down. Defender Killjoy going in, and that is unfortunately gonna force everyone off. This is disaster for Slaughterhouse Esports. They have to sit all the way out and just watch that defuse possibly come down. T goes ahead, grabs 3 for himself. They will go ahead and force their way in. T gets 4, XT finishes it off, and that will be a flawless victory for Delusion Esports to put them on map point.
Yeah, and that Killjoy ult came in absolute clutch. Being able to toss that out there, force them off of the site. And because of where everyone was, I love the patience with the Killjoy ult, making sure everyone was there, because right when it went down, they just immediately got into sight. They could have just go ahead and stuck the defuse, but they decided to push around that box. They know that's the only place available for them to hang on the site if they wanted to, and they just force the peak, and they win the duel, and it makes the retake really, really easy. And now, at the very least, for Slaughterhouse, they have the money to purchase everything that they want for this round. But now you're in a must-win. You have to win out for the rest of this map if you want to at least send it to OT, and they're only going to have 2 ults to also supplement this.
Yep, big question marks. It looks like a mid push is going to be the call. 1-3-1 with a sneaker on the side, and the bomb or the spike slowly tucked away over on A, but Wraith has something to say about it. That's going to be the call out. Mid is getting pinched, and T goes ahead and grabs the second recon bolt destroyed, but given the information, Evo goes ahead and snags 1, gonna try and get a second, but up on higher, he can't finish the 2 back-to-back. 2 versus 2 as a revive comes in for Slaughterhouse, and a revive on the other side, so 3 on 2. Both sages say, come on, we got to get a few more bodies in here.
Yeah, big revives coming through, making it possible from both ends here.
Yep. Couple pot shots going out. T going ahead, trying to set on that stage wall. This is going to be the danger. K goes ahead, picks up 3. Full house of kills, as that is going to be Delusion Esports running a win, 12-6 here on Icebox.
13-6, pretty clear victory coming in from Delusion, but it was a little bit interesting on the flip side. Once Slaughterhouse got onto the attack, it felt like they had a little bit more to offer. However, that first half just wasn't their half. They just lost duel after duel. Jaden was just unstoppable, and they just didn't have any answers on the defensive side, which was the real problem. They didn't go aggressive, they didn't go for info pushes or just being able to use eco pushes, because you really have nothing to lose in those situations. They weren't able to capitalize on those, and as a result, Delusion, they run away with the first map. So we'll have to see for the side of Slaughterhouse what they have planned on the next map, which is going to be Binds. So if they want to send it to 3 maps, they need to take Bind.
Yes, they do. And with a 415 combat score, Jaden absolutely stripping it out here. It's straight ahead of the competitors. I think the next one was 161 average combat score. So very well done on his part. We'll see if he can, kind of copy that performance here on the next upcoming map. But we will go to a quick commercial break to be able to provide you a proper draft after we turn into psychics for most of the game. So please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with the second game between Slaughterhouse Esports and Delusion Esports.